And we have an interesting one here with Carrie Lake. God, I love this lady. She's so cool. I wish she was one of my aunties. Just like America's auntie right there. A cool one. Not apple pie on trampoline or water park day. She's like extreme baked, beefy, cheesy nachos on Sunday night football that was earlier range day. That's how cool she is. But she getting bombarded here by I spelled her name wrong. Respect. She getting bombarded here by CNN, a reporter that she's had past interactions with, and she handles it like a G. So I want to show this to further my argument.
Hi.
Harry.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Counting off and CNN.
You don't have a mask on anymore. What's
we're,
going
we're
on?
outside. Do you have a
Wow.
minute to
Well,
chat?
we're 6 feet apart.
Do you have a minute to chat?
I'll do an interview.
Okay.
As long as it airs on CNN Plus. Does that still exist? I didn't think so because the people don't like what you guys are peddling, which is propaganda. Thank you.
That's involuntary servitude.
She really be boss hogging like that, and that's why I love her. But if you don't know what happened with CNN Plus, basically CNN, the local news network, they decided to put a paywall behind their content with all of their primetime users. And I think they put a good amount of money into the subscription service. It's kind of like Disney Plus or Netflix, but CNN. And I would like to say it was $100 million or something around there. I don't want to be wrong. A couple tens of $1,000,000 into this paywall, and they completely flopped. I mean, they peaked at like 10,000 views, and they had to shut down a week later. And this is because they lie. They are a propaganda news network. They lied to you, and they spent the last 5 years hiding what's actually going on in this country. They focused on getting you to hate Donald Trump as a racist, a sexist, misogynist, xenophobe, transphobe, you name it. They took you there. They made you think that they made you hate the police, and they propagated this country for the past 5 years. The American people woke up to it, and they realized that they can no longer rely on CNN, and their subscription service completely flopped. Why am I talking about this? Well, basically because while we have the January 6th hearings going on right now, and it's something that was majorly influenced by CNN, my boy Trump in court right now. I mean, he going like 50-0, Floyd Mayweather in there. I mean, he been in and out of court. They ain't caught him on nothing yet. They still trying to impeach him for the third time. They got nothing on the man. So they're trying to get him for January 6th right now, and this is where their focus is at. Meanwhile, we have an actual insurrection happening in our country with the overturn of Roe versus Wade, and you won't hear none of that on any of these corporate news channels. But we're gonna talk about that right here. Right here is Lori Lightfoot. Lori Lightfoot of Chicago, for what I would say, inciting violence, inciting hate on another black man, while her city is a literal cesspool with some of the highest shootings of young black men killing each other in America, in Chicago. Not the highest. I don't want to get banned by YouTube. She's, instead of focusing on that, she's over here at this concert and want to show her face and want to show her voice, and she wants to incite hatred against Clarence Thomas, who had a big part in overturning Roe versus Wade. Before we go on with this, I just want to say, like, Lori, the overturn of Roe versus Wade will not affect you literally at all. You are a married to a woman. Abortion will not affect you at all. You shouldn't even be thinking about that. But while your city is literally burning down, this is what she has to say about Clarence Thomas.
If you read Clarence Thomas' concurrence, he said, thank you, fuck Clarence Thomas.
Fuck you, Clarence Thomas!
He thinks that we are going to stand idly by
So very classy, Lori Lightfoot. Very good. So this next video is in Arizona. Again, another place uh where their governor still allows abortion. But this is actually at a federal building with a hearing that is currently going on in there. And with this stuff going on outside, they had to go on recess and postpone the hearing and go on lockdown because these people want to act a fool over Roe versus Wade.
This is insane.
So it seemed like we're leading up to a insurrection incited by a lot of these politicians. AOC was out there, Elizabeth Warren was out there. Yet we still they won't post none of this because these are left wing. They are all on the Capitol. The January 6th hearing going on right now, but they still never posted a video of Trump saying, "I know you all will go to the Capitol soon to peacefully and patriotic make your voices heard." Almost quote by quote, but paraphrased. That's what he said. But yeah, you have these politicians out here in the streets in the daytime. They won't go out there at nighttime. Telling these people to go out here and act like this. Telling these people to go out here and do this. Beating the doors into these federal buildings, but you won't see that anywhere on CNN. That's because they are here to divide you. And if you don't believe me, video here.
Friends in Canada.
Of British Prime Minister Boris Johnson in an interview with CNN, Jake Tapper. Boris Johnson about to shut down Jake Tapper for literally causing this divide, and this is why they get so low viewers. You have an opportunity to speak to a prominent figure in the world, a prime minister, presidents, and they always flop it, trying to spew some BS. But Boris handles it well, so let's let him do that.
Friends in Canada, the UK, Australia, and elsewhere. People express concern about the United States about the United States in terms of our ability and our institutions to thrive and continue after what happened with the election of 2020. They worry that democracy is on life support in the United States. People might not know this about you, but you were born in the United States, and until recently you
I was. And I was born in New York City, a fantastic place. Jake, where were you born? Where were you born in New York?
Where was I? Staten Island.
All right, okay. I was born in New York General Hospital. Anyway.
Are you worried at all? Do you look?
No, I want to say this to the people of the United States. I'm not. I think that I just get back to what I've been trying to say to you throughout this interview. I think that reports of the death of democracy in the United States are grossly exaggerated. America is a shining city on a hill, and for me, and it will continue to be so. And I think that the mere fact that Joe Biden has stepped up to the plate in the way that he has shows that the instincts of America are still very much in the right place. And yeah, look, I mean, there were some weird and kind of unattractive scenes back in the
died. I mean, it was pretty serious.
It was pretty weird. I won't deny that.
Worse than weird. I mean,
looking from the outside, it was pretty weird. But I don't believe that American democracy is under serious threat. Far from it. I continue to believe that America is the greatest global guarantor of democracy and freedom.
Joe Biden talks about the world in terms of autocracies and democracies, and this is the big struggle. You talk about it that way as well. He also talks about the United States as going through that struggle, and he sees Donald Trump as autocratic, as somebody who didn't respect the will of the people, who there are hearings going on right now. I know you're familiar with them, bipartisan hearings about all the ways that Donald Trump tried to undo the election, undo democracy.
Jake, I'm going to take the fifth on this because this is, the convention in.
You don't have a fifth.
Well, I was born in New York, but I had to give up my citizenship because it was just so expensive. But look, the fact is that we as friends and partners, and there are no two closer friends and partners in the US and the UK. We don't talk about domestic. In principle, we shouldn't talk about each other's domestic politics, and that's for the people of the US.
Thanks so much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice to meet another New Yorker.
Yeah.
So, Boris Johnson, man, I like that guy. You make me want to get interested into British politics just to see how you guys handling your news. I mean, he shut that down. Great job. Notice how they went right to January 6th and explaining how this affects the rest of the world because apparently America is now under attack. Meanwhile, while they were saying things were going on, they didn't mention none of them BLM riots. And while Boris Johnson was saying some weird stuff going on with, he didn't even say the election. He could have been talking about the BLM riots, which were significantly worse and influenced by mainstream corporate media, significantly worse than that January 6th riot. And Jake Tapper wants to talk about people dying. People died. Yeah, there were a couple people died. Only one of them was killed, and a couple officers assaulted. But when you look at the damages and the federal buildings attacked and small businesses attacked and the 20 plus people killed and the 2,000 plus people officers assaulted in that whole summer, and CNN didn't cover it at all. But then you want to talk to a British prime minister and see if he can take your side and say that this had a negative impact, which it didn't, on America. The only negative impact that we have right here is this propagated news channels, the corporate mainstream media. See, they'll take bits and pieces. They will never show you how they let people into the Capitol building, and they purposely did not send the police out there, send backup. But they want to make you think that these events are so dramatic and have a dramatic effect across the world when really it's the leadership. It's the leadership that's going on. And Boris Johnson knows that, and he sees that. He sees the propaganda in these news networks, and he's not going to fall into it. I respect that. I really like how he handled that. One reason I think probably because he knows, one, he don't, like he said, UK and US has some of the best partnerships. He don't want to mess that up with Joe Biden or potentially Trump, whoever, with the Democrats or the Republicans in the future. If Trump does get back in or another Republican, he don't want to mess that up at all. Very smart move. But I just think it's sad, right? So we're supposed to trust these people. This could have been a really, really great interview with a very prominent figure, but you blew it. Talking about the same stuff you've been talking about for the past 3 years when we have actual stuff going on. You ain't going to show AOC and them out there yesterday encouraging people to protest and get angry. This is what they do. Boris didn't fall into it, man. I really appreciate that. Shout out to him, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments section.